Hey guys, yes, I have a Jerry curl. Mind your damn business. My hair is going through some change. Black hair, I'm telling you, it does what it wants. It does what it wants. But check out that curl pattern though. I'm doing some things. Anyway, let's get into it. Woo! So let's talk about Kalani and Asuelu. What happened? What is happening with this couple? I am so floored because it's such a 180 from what we got last season. I can't believe I'm here. Anyway, after Asuelu acted a plumb fool and hopped on, where are they at? Are they in Cali? I think they're in Cali. Cali Public Transit. Why would you do that? I'm sorry, if you're not on the East Coast, it makes no sense for you to get on a bus or a subway. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Anyway, or the Midwest, Chicago. I heard they got a really good public transportation system. But anyway, this fool with his book bag and his little luggage. Wasn't that luggage really small for a grown man? Anyway, he hops on this bus or whatever, and he's just, Lord knows where he is, right? So we open up with Kalani and her mama and her sister and her father telling the dad what happened to Asuelu. Because I guess, after a while, you start asking around. It's just like, where is this man? So Kalani finally tells him, and the mom chimes in as well. And I just want to say this. Were you holding your breath the whole time Kalani was talking to her father about him? I was like, you know what? I felt like I was talking to my dad about a deadbeat dude that I was dating. I just felt like it was me. I was sitting there holding my breath like, oh, girl, don't tell him everything. You know what I mean? Because this is the thing, right? When you put your family in your business, you can't take them out. Just like the viewers of 90 Day Fiancé. We gonna be in your business for life. Anyway, it's just really hard to get them out, especially as a daughter. You tell your dad some stuff that a dude done did, he will never forget. Never, even if y'all move on. He will never forget. So I was just very nervous when she was telling him, because also he comes off as this really violent man for his family. I don't think that he's a violent guy, but I think he's the type of dude who was just I'll kill for my family. Like most men, you know what I mean? Who want to be with a man that won't kill for me? Listen, you better shoot up the club if somebody disrespect me. Anyway, I am on one. I think I need to eat. So to me, he comes off if you mess with my kids or my wife, I'm a harm. I was just concerned for Asuelu because not only did he mess with, what is this man's name? I'm going to call him Granddaddy Rock until I find out his name. He messed with Granddaddy Rock's daughter and wife, so I was concerned. I was really, really concerned for Asuelu. But Kalani was just like women do. We always protecting bums, ladies. Sometimes you gotta let that bum catch the beat down, okay? Because if Asuelu got beat down by your daddy, he would not be disrespecting you on national TV. So Kalani says, well, no, Dad, don't do anything. Just talk to him. I don't want you to get out of, your way, and I don't want you to do anything wrong. Speak for yourself. So I'd be like, get him, Dad. No, I wouldn't. Well, I let my father beat me. No, my dad is 5'7". So let's talk about how Asuelu, right? A husband, a father of 2 very small children. I think both of his kids are under the age of 2. Their mother, they are still breastfeeding from their mother. Asuelu gave his wife, who was concerned and searching for her husband, 5 different fake locations. Now, I can reasonably guess that she was doing this at night because when she spoke to her family, her mother said, did he come back last night? And Kalani said yes. So Kalani, a nursing mother, left her kids to go search for their father at night while he lied to her and gave her 5 different fake locations. It is only by the grace of God that nothing happened to that woman. You are sending a woman by herself alone at night to fake locations you don't even know. Because he said they were fake. He just found them on the map or just Googled some kind of address. You don't even know where you were sending your wife. Like something could have happened to that woman. Because Asuelu ain't from there. He don't know where he was sending his wife. I'm like, you could have sent her to her death. How old is he? Wait, he's not in his 30s, is he? He's really, wait, is Asuelu like 24? I think he's a lot young. Oh, Kalani. Ma'am, can we be real? You need to, hop on another penis. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. This is not working, mama. This is not working. I know you got the kids and you want to keep the family together. This is 2020. We ain't doing that no more. We are securing our peace, okay? We're not doing this mess for the kids. We're not staying miserable. We're not staying married to bums for the kids no more. This ain't the 60s. We're not doing that. We saw our mamas do it. We're not doing it. You can do better. You can do better. And I think it's also because this is the only pain that she's experienced, that she is just like locked into this. You don't have to be. Women have options. You can get out of this. Ain't nobody judging you. Do what you need to do. It seemed like that family gonna ride for you no matter what. You always gonna have a place to stay. I mean, your parents got 27 houses. It's just time for you to move on. I couldn't believe that man did that. And I'm not trying to break up nobody's relationship, right? Especially since I ain't got my whole, you know what I mean? Take what I say with a grain of salt, but don't really, because I'm blessed with some wisdom. God has blessed me with some wisdom. I got great wisdom and discernment. That still don't stop me from picking a man that is a mess. It happens to the best of us, especially if they're 6'5" with a wide back. But I just think that, sis, you need to move on. This just does not seem like a healthy situation for you or your kids, because let me tell you something. When Asuelu finally came back and everybody was here for the party, she's sitting out there uncomfortable around everybody with the kids. Everybody knows that the camera crew was here to film her husband. So, of course, people are going to ask where he is. And one of her girlfriends asked her, where's Asuelu? And she's just like, oh, well, this is another thing, Kalani. You don't got to tell everybody your business. She told her good girlfriend in front of everybody at her child's party, there is so much mess going on at this 2-year-old birthday party. So she tells her everything that's going on. And her friend is like, because I'm thinking she was expecting Kalani to be like, oh, he's in the bathroom. She didn't expect Kalani to be like, oh, he had me out in the street at night by myself, damn near died, going to 5 different fake locations to find him. Then when I finally found him, he came back and said he ain't want to talk to me ever. Like, the friend wasn't expecting all that information, but she volunteered it. And I guess at that point, you got to get your man out here now, because you done told everybody that y'all having problems and issues, and it's just uncomfortable. So I'm guessing that Kalani picked that up, and she was just like, you know what? This is awkward. This is our son's birthday party. He is not coming out to participate, and he's here. It's just very uncomfortable. So she goes to talk to him, and what lets me know that she has been going through this with this man for a very long time was how she talked to him. Her patience and the language that she used let me know that she was trying her best not to step on any triggers for him, because she didn't want it to get out of hand. This is not a healthy relationship for Kalani. You know what? Listen, I'm not a therapist, right? So maybe therapy or counseling, something could help them move into a better space in their relationship. But so far, how this man has treated her, I mean, we're not even halfway through the season, and I'm like, girl, this ain't a good look. So I don't know if y'all being paid to be awful. I don't know what's happening here, right? Because the thing that's bothering me is that we never saw this Asuelu last season. It was merely, he is marrying into this, white adjacent family, you know what I mean? Who loves everything white supremacy, looks down on him because he is a brown Samoan man and treats him really bad because he is not American. That's all we got. We got everybody hating Asuelu because he is Samoan. And so everybody ran after this man to protect him. And then we started seeing things. Like at the reunion, that's when I was like, something is up with this dude. Something is like the sweet little, I don't know. That ain't him. I feel like he's putting on some kind of, I'm ignorant facade to come off a certain way. I don't know if this is scripted or I don't know if this is him scamming. I don't know what it is, but I remember at the reunion, he showed me a side, and I even said it in my review that I was very alarmed. He was screaming at some woman. It was some woman on the stage, and he was screaming at her, and then he started like beating himself in the face because of what this woman said. And I was like, okay. What the hell is going on, Kalani? Get out of that situation. I mean, you got support. You really got support. And I think you really need to experience some other men. It don't have to be a bunch. You know what I mean? You could do another one and that be it for you. But I think that you hopped on this chauvinistic penis and you have not gotten off this ride. I think it's time for you to stop, get off the ride, and go to another theme park, honey. This ain't it. This ain't it. Tania and Syngin, this couple is in love. I don't believe it. I don't believe any of these problems that they're trying to fake. The only problem that I believe that they have is the fact that Syngin wants to travel the world and, not have kids for a very long time. That is the only disagreement with this couple that I believe. Like, he doesn't want to settle down. She wants to settle down. He wants to be with her, but he wants to travel the world with her and, live out of cars and trash cans and sleep on the, beach. That's what he wants to do. Tania is down for that at certain, parts in her life. But now she's at the part where she wants to settle down, have a home, and have children. That's where I think their only disagreement is in this marriage. Here is why. This show is messy. Messy boots. If Syngin had a drinking problem, do you not think they would have exploited the hell out of that issue? We would have been in rehab with that man on episode 3. So you mean to tell me they kept his drinking problem under wraps that whole season and now it's slowly coming out with no kind of footage to back it up? I don't believe it. I think this is storyline. I don't think that he has a drinking problem. I think they're just trying to find some conflict so that they can stay on the show. Listen, do what you want. Get your coins. I ain't never hating on another woman trying to get a check. But all I'm saying is, give me a storyline that I can believe or want to believe. I know it's all fake. I know it's all put together. I know how these shows are made. But give me a storyline that's interesting. This is not interesting because it's not true and you two aren't great actors. So you can't even fake the storyline to even make me believe it. You know what? No, it's hard to make me believe something. But I'm saying, because I'm an actor, I catch certain things. But I'm just saying, you guys could put more effort into the storyline. I think you have a great storyline in the truth, which is you both are married and in love. You're not at the same place in your life. That is a great storyline to go off of because it's the truth and you two can honestly act it. And here is the prime example of that. While these two are out at dinner, Syngin reveals to Tania that he does not want to raise his children in the United States. Tania is honestly caught off guard, right? And I'm like, here it is. This is where y'all need to stay. That drinking stuff takes us away from the meat and the bones of your story, which is this. Because your husband is telling you something that you should have found out on date 3 or maybe 4. But you see, I don't know, because on my first dates, I get into some conversations. I don't know how I end up in these deep conversations on the first date, but I always do. But that is interesting. You know what I mean? To find out that your husband is just like, I know you want to raise your kids and live here, but I don't. And I'm married to you and we want to have children together. So what's going on? Because I'm thinking a few years down the line, y'all going to have a not without my daughter situation. If you're old enough, you caught that. You caught it. Let's talk about grudges and how men can hold them for a lifetime. A man will be on his deathbed and will still hold on to a grudge that he experienced when he was like 9. That's just who they are. That's just how they're created. It is what it is. So this whole conversation boils down to the fact, I don't want to raise my kids here. I don't want to do all this. The things that you want to do right now, Tania, I don't want to do. And I don't know if I ever do. All of this stuff is coming up. And Tania is just like, where is this coming from? What is happening? And then Syngin says, why do you want to have kids with me if you don't even think that I'm your soulmate? He ain't never letting that go, Tania. I know you were probably trying to give us good TV, but you should have never did it because that was a real reaction to that comment you made. You should have been like, put them cameras down. Let me fix my marriage. Honey, I was just saying that because I was talking to a producer and they said that would be good TV. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. You are my soulmate. You are my king. I want to have your baby. You should have said it, sis. Because the minute you said that and did not yell, cut, that was it. that he will never let that go. Because not only did you say it to him, you said it to him in front of people and in front of the world. So he is constantly dealing with that humiliation from you. Love can conquer all. Love can conquer all. I hope you two are able to get past this, because I do think that they love each other, but she hurt him. She cut that man deep. Tania, you could be making AIDS and you could make them the wrong way and be like, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, Syngin, I forgot the salt. And he could be like, oh, of course you forgot the salt in my eggs, because I'm not your soulmate. He will never let it go. He will never let it go. You're going to have to do some work for years, decades, to get that man to get over that. Because Tanya was so caught off guard. She was like, why? You said, where is this coming from? And then he said the soulmate thing. And I was like, there it is. Everything you do, every little mistake you make will always go back to that soulmate comment. He will always find a way to lead you back to that, because you broke his heart a bit, sis. You broke his heart a bit, sis. And it's nobody else's fault but your own. Because you said it about your husband to the world, girl. Yeah. I feel like Syngin is going to give us a Will Smith moment and be like, I'm going to get you back. That's what I feel like. Girl, Tanya, you got to work on that. You got to work daily. Always check in with him. You know what? Your new nickname for Syngin should be soulmate. Kill him with it. Kill him with it. Because that man is hurt. Elizabeth and Andrei. Elizabeth, why did you go all the way to Moldova without a translator? Like a physical, computer-generated, translator. The thing that Devin and Jihoon uses. Why didn't you invest in that? You have relied on your husband to do the interpretation. And at the time when you need him the most, he told you to sit there and talk to his mother and figure it out. So she's sitting there in the kitchen preparing some dish with Andrei's mother, and she don't know what this woman is saying. She's just staring at her like, she's the son. She's like she doesn't, I don't know why we do this. Why, if we can't hear something or understand something, we squint. Like it will make the understanding or hearing better. I don't know why, but that's what Elizabeth was doing. She was in the kitchen just listening to her. I'm like, girl, get a translator, because Andrei is not going to help. And the mother, this is what I want to say, ma'am. If you're doing all this talking and she hasn't responded to you yet or given you any inkling of an understanding of what you're saying, why are you continuing to speak to her? Because she would not shut up. Andrei's mother was just motor mouth, just Moldovaning this woman down. And she was like, I'm looking at them like, what did you two get accomplished? What? Andrei decides to put Elizabeth down again. It's his daily routine. And, let her know that she's not better than a Moldovan woman, because they do all of the hard work and then some. You know what I mean? They do all the hard work of being a woman, and then they take on the burden of a man and just do all of their hard work. They're just hard working women. And I was just like, Andrei, I don't think you sold that Moldovan women are better. Andrei as a man is thinking, oh, the things that I'm saying about Moldovan women are good, but it's just like, no, you're just saying that the women are oppressed. That's all you're saying. And then you're putting down American women. So you're putting down your wife, Elizabeth, and she's just sitting there squinting. She doesn't care. And then she goes in the confessional. Oh, he's saying all the chauvinistic stuff. Just stop talking to me. I don't care. Because you don't address your man in the moment. You sit there and let him disrespect you. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you come to this confessional and you got all this chutzpah, but you don't have it for your man. Girl, I'm tired. Andrei is his chauvinist, his pig. He took from my daddy's money. But you let him. You encourage him. You help him. This is your fault. I am not victim blaming, because Elizabeth is not a victim. You know what Elizabeth gives me? She gives me a younger Jenny from 90 Day Fiancé the other way. She is a willing kind, because for her, she just looked at Andrei and was just like, I don't know what I'm going to get this again. So let me just become this man's doormat, because he's 6'5" and he got a wide back. I'm not judging, because I've been there when I was 24, which is not that long ago. It's 2 years ago. I'm just like, man, you got to grow up. You have to grow up. And maybe it's your father treating you like, a toddler. I don't know what it is, but I'm tired. I don't care anymore. I don't care that you tell us in the confessionals that this man mistreats you. Why? Because you're not going to leave him. You're going to give him 6 kids. You're going to let him down American women. You're going to let him embarrass you like he embarrassed you at that bar with his friends. He's going to go to this bar with his friends and basically say that Elizabeth is his sugar mama. You know what I mean? Basically just saying, oh, I don't work. She takes care of the household, and was grinning like he knows. He knows that he is taking advantage of this woman. And Elizabeth is sitting there doing what? Squinting. Oh, Andrei. Like, you know you're being kind. You don't care. Because to you, this dude is fine. Like, that's what it is. You're accepting this BS from him because of what he looks like. It's the same thing with the men on 90 Day Fiancé. We see it clearly with the men. I don't know why we cannot see it clearly with Elizabeth. This is what's happening here. They are the younger version of Jenny and Summit. This is exactly what this couple is. I will stay home and take care of our daughter. Elizabeth will go out and work and make money and bring back home to me, and I will run the house. Where? Where? If I'm paying for everything, I'm running that house. I'm not Elizabeth, bro. I'm not Elizabeth. I'm running that house. I'm telling you what to do. I'm not washing a dish. I'm not cleaning nothing in that home. I'm coming home, taking off my Louis Vuitton. Taking off my Louis Vuitton slides. I'm putting my feet up on my coffee table. I'm snapping, and you are bringing me a beer or Moscato. I don't drink. Y'all can tell. I went from beer to Moscato. But you are bringing me a ginger beer. I'm turning on Family Feud, and I'm letting you know that that dinner better be made, and it better be hot and ready in 30 minutes because I'm hungry. And when you're done, just like Danielle, give me my sex. And that's it if I'm paying for everything. You tell me nothing. You don't run nothing in that home. Elizabeth, you need to pull your weight. You are the money. You are the money, and Andrei ain't nothing more than a hoe. Let's talk the truth and shame the devil. You need to watch a couple of seasons of Basketball Wives and learn how to run that hoe, because he's taking advantage of you. You better wake up. You got the money, sis. You got the power. You're an American. You should know this. Paul and Karine. Just saying his name, I'm drained already. I'm drained already. First of all, how many of these forest shirts does Paul have? What is this style called? Is it a forest shirt? It's not fatigue, but I know it's in that camouflage. Is it camouflage? Well, how many of these shirts does Paul own? I swear he has worn them in every scene, every episode thus far this season. Is he a camouflage sponsor? Maybe he's an influencer for forest shirts. Like, what is going on? So Karine has been in America all of what, 6 hours? Like, Paul has already got this woman stressed. He's getting ready to go to dinner with his mom. His mom has invited them both to dinner, and she is so sick of Paul, she decides not to go. Because why? She knows that she's going to at least get a couple of hours of free time and space away from that bizarre husband. So she'd rather starve, because he was like, I know you're hungry. She'd rather starve than go to dinner with that man. That's how Paul is. He is succubus the right word? Leech, fatigue, demon. There is something about him that when he gets around anybody, they get so tired of him that they do anything to get away from him. Case in point, his mama, because when he goes out to dinner with his mother, who will not be inconvenienced for Paul, she says to him as soon as she sees him, where's Karine and the baby? And Paul is like, oh, she wanted to stay home because she's feeling a little tired. You know what Paul's mama says to him? I wish you would have told me, because I would not have come if I would have known that it would have just been you. Ma'am, that's your seed. She's so sick of the seed, the human being that she pulled out of her vagina. She's so sick of him that she said, I would not have come to dinner if it was just you. Somebody else got to get me to come to this dinner to be with my son. Wow, Paul. You got to work on that. People don't like being around you. She said it so matter-of-factly. Like, she wants Paul to know, I can't stand you. I'm sick of you. I don't want to be around you. I took our house key off your car because I didn't want you in there without me being there. Like, Paul, you got some problems, bro. You got some problems, and I don't know if it's just because he's spoiled, and spoiled in the way in which they have done everything for him. So now that he's an older person, a grown adult, he doesn't know how to do just basic things because he's been coddled his whole life. Or maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there's, a couple wires or something. Something ain't working quite right. Maybe it's that. If it is that, I want to know. I really do want to know, because I think Paul is just coming off awful. But if he has some kind of imbalance, if there is some issue, if, I don't know her name, but Why calls her 90 Day Fiancé Alice. If 90 Day Fiancé Alice was drinking, when she was pregnant with, we have to get this information, because Paul is just coming off awful and exhausting. And if he has an issue, I want to know that so I could better, review this show. I just feel sorry for him. And I said it before and I'll say it again. I feel bad for the dude because he has brought his wife and his young child, his young baby, to America after he was kicked out of Brazil. He comes here giving her the promise of having a better way of life, and he can't fulfill that because he's burned so many bridges and he has nobody in this nation who will support him. No family, nothing. He has family, but they won't help him because he has just done so much harm to them and has taken so much from them and not repaid them back that they just don't trust him and don't want to rock with him anymore. So here he is with a whole family that he's responsible for that he cannot care for. I feel bad for him. I feel even worse for Karine and the baby because they're going to suffer. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that she's able to forge some kind of relationship with Paul's mom and Paul's family, because I think they'll help her. They just don't want to help Paul. It's sad that she is connected to him because that mother really loves her and that baby, but as long as she's connected to her son, she just won't deal with him. It's unfortunate. And speaking of unfortunate, why did he take her to this dilapidated trailer and was saying, oh, this is a nice little fixer-upper. We can do this. You don't have no money? Let me tell you something. I never lived in a trailer, right? But I'm from Philadelphia. On the outskirts of Philly, we have a huge Romney Child community. So trailer is life. You know what I mean? You start to get out of Philly and you start to, get into the little lightly populated areas that start to become a little racist. You start to see a lot of trailers. That is just the life for a lot of people. I say the outskirts of Philly instead of just saying Pennsylvania. We don't claim them. Anyway, so you start to see that, and that's something that's just really common, and a lot of people know about it, and a lot of people have the knowledge that trailers are not that expensive. Especially if you just want to go basic. You know what I mean? They're not that expensive. The rent is very cheap if you are renting one. That's why a lot of people who come from poorer communities live in trailers, because they're affordable. This dilapidated trailer that Paul took her to, it better have been free. That's the only way that would make sense. I couldn't believe that lady. She was just like, yeah, this is a fixer-upper. You could do a little something in here. The man who lived here before, he was older. His daughter took care of him. He passed away. I was like, he probably passed away in that home and is still there in that trailer, buried under that garbage. I could not believe that Paul was even considering that. And Karine was just like, listen, I know I'm from Brazil, but baby, I've lived a better life. I may have shown you some little grungy places so that you could have a storyline, but baby, please believe, I've never lived in a dilapidated trailer. She can have standards just because she's from Brazil. Who are you? Who are you? I guarantee you the wooden hut that her husband said that she lived in looked better than that. Didn't have a decomposing body in the kitchen. And then he takes her to another trailer and she's just like, Paul, no. And he's getting upset at her, but I'm like, dude, you promised this woman a better way of life. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. She would not have carried your child if she knew that you would bring her to a dilapidated trailer in the United States of America and that you would not have any family to support you. She knew that when she married this man, she was going to need the support of his family to at least let this transition to America be successful. Now coming here, not only does she find out that he does not have a job, does not have a way of making money. He used all those excuses for Brazil. Now we're in the United States. What's the problem now? Don't have a job, don't have no money, don't have no support, cannot provide for her and her child, and has her driving around in a condemned Toyota Tercel. Karine, Brazil is better. I'm sorry. Go back. You got support there. You got a loving mama who will fight for you. Go back. Go get here another way. Who was that man that you was texting last year? Talk to him. You know what I mean? Like there's a better way of getting here. You do not have to come here on Paul's dime. Because he ain't got one, mama. He ain't got one. There got to be somebody else in this 90-Day Fiance cast that you can form a little relationship with, a little love story, get on a different season with a new man from the same pot. Do that. This right here is a nightmare. You are not living the American dream. And although Paul is bizarre, he's good TV. I mean, poor Karine. So he takes her to the market and he's just like, look how big it is. Look at all the selections. And she's like, we have markets in Brazil. They're just as big as well. Like, she wasn't amazed. Like, he keeps on trying to, like, you know, blow America up as this amazing place. But he's not providing these amazing American things that he said he would for Karine and their child. So she's just not impressed. She's not impressed. He's showing her basic level things and she's just like, okay, I know you thought I lived in a wooden hut, but we actually have supermarkets and they're just as big and they have just as many deals. She's trying to tell this fool, we don't need all those wipes right now. We don't have anywhere to live. We're in a hotel room. I know you want me to get the 5 for $5. Where we gonna put 5 packs of wipes right now, Paul? Like, she knew exactly what the dude was talking about, but she was making the smart and sensible decisions. And he wasn't. Like, he's just bizarre. He's very clueless, especially about pads and tampons. I was so embarrassed for her. Guys, I cringe. He's like holding the pads up. He's just like, don't you use these, right? I know you need, heavy flow? I was like, oh, Karine, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then in the confessional, he's talking about how to, like, put a pad on. The meaty part goes in the front, right? And then the tampon goes into the hole. How old are you? How old are you? You mean to tell me you're in vaginas and impregnating women and you don't know how they work? Straight women, it's really hard for us. It really, really is. Oh my gosh. Why do we get paid less? For what we're dealing with, we need to get paid more. Michael and his abuser. So Angela has finally made it to Nigeria for her wedding ceremony, her Nigerian wedding ceremony with Michael. Nigeria, I'm so sorry. You have been terrorized by this woman for several seasons. I apologize. You deserve better. So Angela arrives and Michael takes her to their apartment that they will be living in until the wedding, because I think after that, they should have everything that they need at that point to apply for his visa to live in the United States. So I don't think they plan on living in this apartment for a very long time. What I will say is that when Angela got to the apartment that Michael had for her, she was acting real bougie. Like, Michael, what is this? I hope, oh my goodness, where are we? Girl, who you playing? Who you playing? Welfare fraud queen? Don't play me. Play checkers. Don't play me. So after she did her little bougie act, she walks into the apartment and, okay, how can I say this? Because I don't want to come off bougie, but I am. But I'm not a snob, right? But I will say this. Angela loved the apartment because it was far better living conditions than what she's used to. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Before Angela started getting them big TLC 90-Day Fiance checks, mother was living in her own Skid Row. Remember when we used to get footage of her in that apartment with all them kids? Crackers, just crushed crackers on the walls, on the table, on the floor, just kids rolling around in bruises and feces. It was a mess. It was all the seasons and episodes of Hoarders wrapped into one clip of this woman's apartment. So let's not act like anybody expected her to look at this apartment and look down on it. Please, please. In the words of Queen Rose, Angela, I know who you are. Let's talk about this rat, this animatronic rat. Let me tell you something. Yes, Michael, I don't know why I clapped. I'm black. Michael, we're hand talkers. Michael does not live in, does not come from money. Let's be real. So he doesn't have a lot. So we knew when he got this apartment, because that's their storyline, when he got this apartment that it probably wouldn't have been like, you know, this grand place, right? We didn't need the rat to express the story that Michael doesn't have a lot of money, so he couldn't provide a really nice apartment for Angela. I just felt like that rat was a little bit of Western ignorance, a little sprinkle of some Western ignorance to be like, look at this apartment. It's not really nice. But then they were shocked by Angela's reaction. You know what I mean? They want her to be like, oh my goodness, what is it? But it's Angela, right? So I guess when you get the reaction from her, you got to do something else and throw a rat in there so you can get something that furthers your idea that Michael is not very well off and he lives in a place and he can only provide for her a very impoverished home. So because they didn't get that, you know, shocked American reaction that they were expecting, they threw in this rat. I don't believe that that was a real rat. I think it was some animatronic rat, the same rat that they used for Rose and Big Ed when Big Ed took a shower with Rose's father. I didn't think that was a real rat then. I don't think it's a real rat now. And I think they used that same damn rat to give Angela this bit to play off of. I didn't like it. It was ugly because I was just like, y'all didn't need to do that. Y'all did not need to. We got it. He don't have money. We got it. So let's get into White Future, because I cannot believe that Colt has 3 women on rotation. Colt and Larissa. Why are we still dealing with this couple? I told you, I'm so sick of them because they don't have anything going on. They're not together. If they're not together, we should not waste our time on couples who are broken up. But I guess, you know, 90 Day Fiancé 90 Day Fiancé probably signed a couple season contract with Colt and Larissa because remember, they were doing numbers their first season. So I'm guessing that during that time when they were like really hot, you know, when they were like the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the 90 Day Fiancé franchise, I think they both signed a really big deal with 90 Day Fiancé and TLC in general. So I think we just have to play out their contract because it doesn't make any sense to have a couple on here, 90 Day Fiancé, to have a couple on here that is not together, especially 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. They're not together. They're not happily ever after. Why are we focusing on them? In this episode, Colt and Debbie travel to Brazil to meet Colt's new girlfriend, Jess, the Brazilian girl who likes all the sex because the Brazilian women like sex every time. Ma'am, you got to do better. If you come back next season, sis, you really have to do some damage control. The way you are putting the woman from your nation down, listen, everybody likes sex, okay? Let's stop you know what, maybe, no, not a lot of people don't like sex. The majority of humans like some sensual touch and the sexy, okay? That's not a huge deal, right? I just think she's being very dangerous with this image of Brazilian women being uber sexual, especially because you are putting your stamp on this image of the women in your nation and you're sending it out to Westerners. Have you met more American men than Colt? Do you know what you're doing to these women in Brazil? Do you know the situation that you're putting them in right now? Very dangerous, very risky. Not saying that all American men are abusers or that you should steer clear, but enough of them are to be concerned, sis. You really should not put that image out about the women in your nation. I just don't like it. Every time she does it, I'm like, oh Lord. Every time Jess makes that comment about Brazilian women, she is putting them in danger. Let's talk about Debbie. Nightmare traveler from hell. Like, poor Colty. You could tell he didn't want her to come, but it's his mom, right? You know what I mean? They have a really weird Stephen King's Sleepwalker kind of relationship. Do y'all remember that movie? That mother and son reminds me of Debbie and Colt. Like, they have a really weird, incestuous, incestuous Oedipus relationship. It's really, like, I'm close with my mom. Not that close. Debbie thinks that, like, honestly believes that Colt is her man. Like, I think that when her husband passed, she just put Colt in this role to be her husband. Man, that's your son. That's your son. But also, Colt treats Debbie like an ex that he's still really close with. You know what I mean? Like, he does and says stuff to her. You know how them like bum dudes do to try to get you to be jealous of, you know, the new girl in his life. Like, I feel like he's not saying stuff to her because he wants his mom to know. I feel like he's saying the things that he does with women to like get under her skin because he knows that she would get upset because he's spending his time with other women. Weird, right? Real sleepwalker type relationship. Real weird, real weird. So anyway, they get to Brazil. Debbie is like, I'm old, it's hot. She was just miserable. She was complaining the whole time, just did not want to be there. And it didn't help when Colt and Jess finally connected because they were just, you know, it's a sexual couple, okay? They were just very sexual. They were hugging, they were kissing. In the confessional when they're all together, you know, producers ask them, what are they going to do? And Jess is like, well, we hope they're going to drop Debbie off and then we're going to have the sex. Girl, I hope that's not true about Brazilian women. My man will never, he won't even be able to look at a Brazilian flag, okay? Girl, you are a mess. But she says that full voice in front of his mother. Debbie is a lot. Debbie is a mess. I felt for her in that situation because, not because, you know, she got a sleepwalker type, you know, relationship with her son, because it just wasn't, I don't know, I felt like it was disrespectful to like say that in front of your, you know, man's mama. We gonna drop her off and then we gonna go have sex. Like, even if you know what's about to go down, you don't gotta tell his mama. Like, and then she was shocked when Colt was like, oh, I think she heard that. And he's gonna laugh. And I'm like, that's still your mom, you know, even though, you know, you're no longer sleeping with her, you don't have to disrespect her like that, Colt. It's just, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I felt bad for Debbie. Let me stop. I'm joking because I have a subscriber who constantly comments about Colt and Debbie, and you really think that they are like in a Jada and August Alsina kind of relationship. You really think more is going on there? I don't think. I just think that, you know, Colt took the place of her husband and the relationship has become inappropriate because the roles have been changed. Colt is standing in the shoes of a man that he cannot fill, you know what I mean? And he cannot fill or fulfill what Debbie needs, but she put him in that space so that she can feel good, but it's becoming really weird, and a lot of boundaries are being crossed. After Colt and Jess finally meet up, they make out in front of his mom in the airport, and then they make out in front of Debbie in the car. And it's just weird. Do you guys do this? I would never do anything like that in front of my man's parents. But I'm not a PDA person. You know what I mean? And I think even if I was, would I be grinding on my man in front of his mama? I don't know. It was just weird. It was really weird. It got even weirder when they got to their hotel room and Colt was like, I got a suite with me and my mom and Jess. And I'm like, why in the hell are you getting a suite with your woman and your mama? Excuse me? You banging your girlfriend in the suite where your mom is steps away? Literally at this point, because when they walk in there, they see that this suite is not even a junior suite. It's a studio apartment. And Colt is like, oh no, I thought it was much bigger online. I didn't know. He doesn't say anything about changing it. He doesn't say anything about upgrading to a different room or getting side-by-side rooms. He doesn't say anything like that. I would have got a room for me and my mom, because you can't leave Debbie alone. He can't leave her alone. She would kill him. So I would get a room for me and my mom and put Jess right next door. Because the kind of sex that Jess is trying to have with Colt, Lord, she gonna break some balls, okay? So I would have done something like that, but Colt is not even thinking about that because he's so freaking cheap. He's, you know, just like, oh, it's all gonna work. He decides to take a shower and Jess is sitting there like, oh no, how are we going to have sex? That's what you're thinking about? You're not thinking about the fact that your man ain't got no money to put you in a different room? Like, you're thinking about, what the hell are they telling y'all about America? I have never been this desperate for a location. It's just, is Brazil bad? I don't know. I have a Brazilian subscriber. He doesn't say anything negative about Brazil. And I don't trust anything that I'm hearing about Brazil or seeing in the media, the American media about Brazil, because it's America. I know that we censor a lot and we, you know, create certain images for people to see of us and for us to see of other people. So I don't trust that, right? I've never traveled to Brazil. I plan on, but is it really a desolate situation like that she would be so hard pressed to present herself this way and get with this terrible man to get to the United States? Let us listen on in the comment section, because I don't know, but the way she keeps on talking about sex, I'm like, are you Brazilian or are you a nympho? Like, what's going on? Either you need therapy or a green card. Something is not right. So now we get to Larissa, who is missing Colt. Missing him. And because she's missing him, she's now thinking about her ex, who she broke up with over text. And she broke up with him because his current girlfriend at the time was texting her and calling her cheesy butt. How does she see your naked butt? Like, what the hell? But she got upset about that, dumped him, and then put a restraining order on him, or like called the police on him. And I was just like, you pulled a Colt on him? Have you not learned anything from your situation? Why would you do to another person what was done to you by somebody else? Like, why would you inflict that same harm? I didn't care about her excuse because the excuse made no sense. You did that because you wanted to protect yourself because the girl was calling you cheesy butt. You did that out of anger, which is what Colt did to you. I would not entangle anybody with the justice system. I'm black. I'm not calling the police on nobody. I'm calling my cousins, and that's it. I'm talking about my cousins, who are just violent. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. We got certain cousins that we call for certain things, okay? But I would never do that to a person. I don't care how bad it is. Would I call the cops on some? See, I can't even fathom it. I can't even fathom it. Because for people like me, it's a death sentence. I've never wanted anybody dead. There was one ex, but no, I've grown. But I'm just like, I would never do that. And the excuse that she gave was not good enough. Why would you do that to that man? He could probably lose job opportunities. You don't know, like, people, your emotions get the best of you. I totally understand. But when you bring the police and the justice system into it because you're just upset, you have no idea how you can ruin somebody's life. I did not like that at all, Larissa. That was very ugly, and her excuse for why she did it, basura. So anyway, she meets with this straight man, because guys, okay, we'll let him say it. So she meets with him, and they're just reminiscing about their relationship, and he can't believe that she did this, and he misses her, and she's talking about rekindling what they have. Larissa is just trying to stay in the US. You know what I mean? She's very nervous. She got fingerprinted when she went to meet with immigration people or whatever, and she doesn't know if she's going to be deported. So she's acting desperate at this point because she realizes that Colt has moved on. But we don't know if he's completely moved on with Jess, because Jess, when she saw how Debbie was acting and freaking out, I'm tired, I'm on, leave me alone. When she saw how she was acting, she was just like, maybe Larissa was right. She did say that Debbie was a problem, and Debbie looks like she's going to be a problem. So if Jess brings that up to Colt, I don't know if they're going to work. So there might be a door open for Larissa and Colt to get together again, and how these two chase fame. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens. But I think right now she's just moving desperate. And so she's trying to make this relationship work again with Eric so that she can stay here in the United States. That's all it is. That's all it is. I just want to say this, though. I've only been to Vegas like 3 times. And the times that I have been there, one time I was campaigning for President Barack Obama. It was the most dangerous thing that I had ever in my life done. Okay? I've seen parts of Vegas that was just like, are we in the apocalypse? Very scary. Very, very, very scary. And the other times I've been there for like parties, celebrations, just like, quick vacation getaway, because it's like 30 minutes from me by plane. So everybody, if you live in LA, everybody go to Vegas, right? I have never experienced the men. You know what I mean? I've always been in like tourist places. So I don't know what the men in Vegas are like. I hope to the Lord God Almighty that Colt and Eric are not the representation, an accurate representation of what the men in Vegas are like. Because why in the hell are the men in Vegas so freaking creepy? Why? Colt, extremely creepy. Eric, extremely creepy. He might be creepy for different reasons. Maybe his representative is creepy. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we're not sure what's going on with Eric, but whatever he's presenting right now is hella creepy. Hella creepy. Vegas, show up. Show up. I have one friend who lives in Vegas, but her and her man ain't from there. They just live there because it's cheap. So I don't know. He's not creepy. He's a good dude. So I don't know. I don't know, but I just know that from what we have seen thus far, Vegas, your men, very creepy. Creepy like the FBI is watching them. You know what I mean? So I just need Vegas to stand up and say something. This cannot be your representation. I hope not. I hope not. But you know what? From the neighborhoods that I've seen, guys, I'm not even talking about poverty. It was just scary. Just like very, haunted neighborhood. Something wasn't right. Something wasn't right. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about this episode. What did you guys think of this episode? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next week for the following episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Also, one of you guys reached out to me on Instagram. And let me just say this. I don't check my hidden messages a lot because I get some real weird, creepy stuff sent to me. Like, there are a lot of people who, I'm not saying it's subscribers. I'm just saying YouTube attracts a lot of unwell people. I get a lot of polls, okay? And my Instagram hitting replies. So I try not to check them too often because with everything that's going on right now, I'm just mad sensitive and I just don't feel like being triggered. You know what I mean? Because I'll go off on the wrong person and you'll get something that was meant for the clan and not for you. So I just don't really check them a lot. But I recently checked one message because I normally just delete them and clear them out. But I saw like briefly, I never opened it, but I saw briefly, it was a message from a young girl who said that her sister's a big fan of me and she wanted me to do a video for her sister. And I don't know what happened. I went to like click on it and the message disappeared. So I can't find it. I was searching through everything. I don't know what happened with that message, but if you're watching this and that is you, sweetie, please reach out to me again. If you do it on Instagram, I'll just start checking it more often so that I can see those really good positive messages. Because I do see a few sometimes and I chat with a few of you guys because a lot of you guys do bring me joy. But as this channel grows, thank you, Jesus, so does the demons, ghouls, and devils. It's just, you guys have no idea what I have to filter out of these comment sections, what I have to filter out on Instagram. Thank God you ain't find me on Twitter. Thank you, Jesus. But one of you did. Scary. One crazy. So the other people who have found me are just great. But yeah, it gets a little scary sometimes. So I try to stay out of those hidden replies or hidden messages, whatever that is. But if that is you, please reach out to me again. I'll check Instagram more often. Or my email is in, my NikkiStar TV email is in my about section as well. Please reach out again. I would gladly do the message for your sister. I saw it and I wanted to like do it right before I filmed this video, but I can't find the message anymore. So hit a sister up. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.